I liken these kinds of issues to the issue we talked about before when we were covering eating meat sacrificed to idols. In the church in Corinth, for example, a lot of the meat sold in the marketplace had already been sacrificed on an altar in one of the ungodly temples, and then it was being resold in the marketplace. He said, the earth is the fullness of and the Lord, it belongs to the Lord. He said, so eat it without question. Just go ahead and eat the food. But he said, if you're eating with somebody for whom it's an issue that they're saying this meat was sacrificed to an idol, don't eat it because you're going to cause the guy to stumble.
Yeah.
So if you're having fellowship with somebody that, and this is where it gets tricky in the church, as we plan an event on October 31st. October 31st is the Lord's Day as much as any of the other 364. Yeah. I like the line from the first Rocky movie. To you it's Thanksgiving, to me it's Thursday, you know. It's Saturday next weekend, and it's 31st. It just happens to be a date that is often, it could have been the 29th or whatever, but it happens to be a date that is also, originally Halloween became a big thing in the U.S. after a great influx of Irish immigrants, because it was a big Irish festival. It has to do with the Celtic culture, and they did certain things, you know, of course, I don't have time to get into all that. You can research it online. I read about it last night. So the Catholic Church later on celebrated, initially it was all Martyrs' Day. It was an all Martyrs' Day originally. And then later on they expanded it to all the saints. Of course, in their view, the saints were only the people that got canonized as saints. In our view, thanks to the Reformation, we're all saints.
Yep.
So, All Hallows Saints Day. Saturday, if you want to look at it as being anything other than Saturday, you know, it's All Holy Saints Day. It's dedicated to you. All right, if you want to look at it that way. And so, but if it bothers you to, you know, exchange, to have kids do like they're doing a techno trunk. Last night at Rivers Chase, they did a techno trunk or treat. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it bothers you to do that, don't do it if it's going to offend your conscience. You know. If it bothers you to put a costume on don't do that. I mean, if you do put a costume on, I would encourage you not to do some of the macabre, some of the stuff that goes on in our culture today, because you know, this thing in our culture is all about, you know, demonic stuff a lot, you know, witches and, you know, goblins and all that stuff.
Yep.
You're up here. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add to that. This.
Is it on?
Yeah, it is now.
Okay.
Acts 24, 15 and 16. But he says in 16, I myself strive to have a conscience without offense towards God and men. So we're hoping that our party won't offend anybody, and though our costumes, we don't want them to offend anybody, so just keep that in mind. We always want them to be fun and happy, not scary.
Right.
And we'll just have a great time of fellowship and fun. And I want to spend some time in worship too. And but we'll just have a great time Saturday. We're looking forward to having a celebration of the Lord and His being the Lord of the Sabbath, or the Lord of the harvest. And so there's a couple pumpkins out there. I hope somebody takes some of them home, and we're gonna.
You don't have to carve a scary face in those, you know, because you're not trying to weird. You know, it originally comes from an Irish thing. There was this guy named Jack that supposedly tricked the devil, and then so the devil got back at him, and so then he kind of wandered around. He couldn't go to heaven or hell or something like that, and so he was just wandering the earth. And so I mean, I don't know that anybody really believed it. It was just kind of a, you know, but they would put this thing out to kind of keep Jack away. So they always call it Jack-o'-lantern, you know, because to keep Jack out. But so I mean, one of my pastor friends, his daughter did an amazing pumpkin a number of years ago. It was like a princess face from one of the Disney movies, and I mean, it was amazing. When you lit it up, it looked just like a person's face. It was incredible, you know.
Wow.
If your conscience is bothered by that, I would say don't leave the pumpkins alone. You know, be sensitive to what you feel is right. There was a long time where we didn't do anything regarding Halloween at all.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, but it's become the second. $6 billion a year is spent on Halloween in our culture.
Yep.
Now, second still to Christmas. Yeah. However, it's a big thing in our culture.
Yeah.
Many churches use an event on Halloween. You don't have to call it a Halloween event, but they use an event around that time of the year as an outreach to people in the community, you know. And or they give people in their church an alternative so their kids don't go to things that are far less, you know, savory and sanctified, you know. So keep those things in mind. I mean, how many people have been a part of churches before that did something along those lines? And some churches don't. I mean, like I said, did we ever let our kids go trick-or-treating? I don't remember if we ever did we? I don't think so. For one thing, we didn't want to ever have to deal with our kid, you know, getting a razor and a piece of candy or something like that, you know. Grandma may have taken him once, I think.
They only do that in St. Louis.
Yeah, only in St. Louis.
Only in St. Louis, sir.
City or county? All right, let's come up here for prayer.